cross on the deuce. Tonight, it's a matchup between two of the biggest rivals ever. Bigger than Ali Frazier. More fierce than the Cowboys 49ers. It's the two teams who've battled for the cup the last 3 years. It's the Philadelphia Wings against the Buffalo Bandits. This is gonna be good.
Gary Gait and Jim Veltman, first team All-Pros who must have a great game to win tonight. For them, this is the championship.
Tavares right in front, played off the ball. He gets the ball back behind the back. Shot goes in. The Buffalo Bandits have won the championship. Darren Kilgore to Hamlin. 30 to go. Shot. Come on, back to the net. What a shot. Darren Kilgore. Bouncing it off.
The Philadelphia Wings become the new winners of the North American Cup and the world champions of major indoor lacrosse.
We're in Buffalo tonight, and the cup is ours, and we're not going to give it up.
We are in Buffalo tonight, and the cup is up for grabs. The first of our 2 playoff games for 1995. It is the Philadelphia Wings taking on the Buffalo Bandits in Buffalo, a rematch of last year's championship game. This is a critical game featuring 2 of the biggest stars the game has ever known. The face-to-face features Gary Gait, John Tavares, the last 2 MVPs in the league. They play a complete game, offense, defense, ground balls. They will be critical to the success of their 2 teams tonight. But the goalies will really be pressured. Elliott, first-team All-Pro, Ross Cowie, each of these goalies saving about 78% of the shots taken against them. But the real story becomes Ross Cowie. He's having some good success against the league, yes. His record is 1-2, his save percentage is healthy. But against the Wings, look, save percentage way down. Record 0-1. He was shellacked the last 2 times he played this team. He needs a good first quarter. We're ready to drop the rock. The silver and black Philadelphia Wings, the Buffalo Bandits in their orange and black. I'm Lee Felsmo, along with Christy Lee and Quint Kasanik, and we are all set for this matchup. The season series, they split 1-1 overall. Buffalo leads 5-3. At home, they're 2-1. But lately, it's been Philadelphia that has established themselves as the cream of the crop in the major indoor lacrosse league. Every possession will be critical. And Buffalo gets the first one. Johnny Tavares brings it down. Tavares and Veltman. The 2 big offensive wheels. They'll try to spread the defense. Look at the room they're giving against Tavares' defender, and that's Scott Gabrielson. Inside of Veltman, he can't pick it up in front of Elliott. They got it back, shot clock down to 1, they lose the possession. A blow to the head by Gabrielson, but no whistle because they're already blown on the shot clock violation.
He can't play on the ball, right?
Tony Resch, and that was Les Bartley after him. First possession. And a big save by Cowie. That will be huge. He has to get comfortable early. Trying to get it down to the trailing player. The player going for the fast break was Batley. He couldn't pick it up. The crowd reacts. You hear Tony Resch. He is mic'd.
Big hit. Big hit.
Resch, new father of his 3rd baby boy, happened yesterday for him.
Already.
Coming down here to try to take the North American Cup to the final game in Philadelphia. Gary Gait, this year's best player. 1-on-1 back out to Govett. He couldn't get it to him. Here comes Cochran.
Hold right there.
Hold call on Gary Gait. Ball goes to Buffalo. Look at the rocking and rolling. Gary Gait against Batley. Here comes Buffalo's second offensive set. This is their 3rd line. Squire brings it down. Not the offensive unit you want in front. They tried to get it in on Elliott. Couldn't do it. Reset the shot clock. Squire throws up. Acquired from Detroit last year. A little bit of a change-up. 5 new faces on this year's team. Here comes Cordingley. He's a big shooter. Inside, they can't pick it up. Ciccone had a great chance to shoot. Couldn't get it off. Shot clock down to 13. Cordingley reloads. They lead the mill in shots on goal. They've got a great offensive team. They've had some weaknesses in the goal. They want to survive this first quarter. We'll explain more as we get into a shot clock violation, the second one in 2 offensive opportunities.
Okay, sir, you're up. You're all right. Way to work. Way to work.
Tony Resch encouraging his team. McAvoy brings it down, tries to get by Laub. Laub, a local hero. Tough defense, really being preached by both teams. A diving play will be no good. And it's because he left his feet behind the plane of the goal. That ball went in the net, but they took it back out and off the board because he dove from behind the goal. You must have your feet in front of the plane of the goal to get off a shot. Hammer Hamley coming off a knee injury, trying to get it in tight. They've tried 3 times to get it into the cylinder and have not been able to handle the ball. They are tight, Buffalo is. Normally they handle those. Tonight they haven't. Ball loose down in the corner. Cowie trying to survive the early going here. He's had some good games. They've made some adjustments to Cowie.
Here we go.
Late in the season.
6 times. 6 times. If they turn it over, that's good.
Beltman trying to get a shot. He is the most accurate shooter on the field tonight. He shoots about 30%. 30% of his shots turn into goals. By far the best. First shot on goal. Reset. Follow up.
Let him up. Let him up.
And still, no goal. Fresh 30-second shot clock, and Buffalo is getting the 2 and 3 shot offense they want. Tavares in front. Big save by Elliott.
No, goalie ball. Goalie ball. That's not good enough defense.
You can hear Tony Resch say that's not good enough D, and you better believe it. Buffalo really putting pressure on Philadelphia.
Too much open.
Resch telling his players, too much open. Johnny Nostri gets it down low to O'Grady. O'Grady going one-on-one against Hall. He makes a nifty move inside. Up top to Flynn. Flynn likes the right hand, comes into the cylinder, gets hammered by Tavares, and Cowie with another save.
Let him run.
Crashing player on offense, it's Tavares.
Consistency offensively. Let's possess the ball.
You hear Tony Resch.
Let's possess it. Ready, Vogt?
To possess the ball.
Vogt.
Darius Kilgore looking for Rowe. Can't get it.
Yep. That's not good enough, D, guys.
You can hear Resch in his bench saying, Dallas is saving us. Not good enough defense. Buffalo putting on intense pressure. But right now, Nostri with the offensive load. Still no score. First quarter. Playoff game number 1 for the Mill. Flynn can't pick it up. Shot clock down to 10. Hamley plays defense on him. Gets him against the boards. Hamley picks it up. Tough grab ball for Hammer Hamley. Here comes Lau. Looking for Rope. He peels back. There's Kilgore. Wants to crack from up top. Rolls inside. And close. No shot. Can't get it past Elliott. Elliott is saving them tonight. Great hit. Batley comes up with it. Gets past 2 players. Here they come. Elliott's the only one saving them. Batley looking for Rowe. Can't find it.
Push. Reset.
Fresh shot clock. 10:23 left. 5 minutes gone. Tony Resch doesn't like what he sees because Buffalo is controlling the offense. Still no score. We're in Buffalo for playoff game number 1. Buffalo against Philly. Major into Buffalo. I'm in the penalty box. That's where I do the games from. Very unusual. Let's talk about something critical to the game. It's the first quarter. Both teams know they must come away from the first quarter with a tremendous, tremendous effort. Why? Because Philadelphia has absolutely annihilated other teams throughout the year. This is what Philadelphia did to Buffalo in 2 games. They scored 43% of their goals in the first quarter. 13 goals. In game 1, the Bandits had to pull Cowie. In game 2, they had to yank Geary. Both games were controlled in the first quarter by Philly. Well, Buffalo is fully aware of that. Christy Lee, you're on their bench. What are the thoughts?
Well, Leif, Coach Bartley and the Buffalo Bandits have worked specifically on this first quarter. Tonight, they're playing really tight defense. You can see that already. They don't want the wings inside. They'll give them that long shot every now and then. And as you mentioned, goaltending imperative. Ross Cowie's been worked with a lot. Look for him to back up in the net, crouch down, make that hole as small as possible for the wings. Speaking of Philadelphia, Quint?
Christy, Philadelphia wants to deliver the knockout punch early. They want to take this Buffalo crowd out of the game. They want to get on Cowie and crush his confidence. Remember, last time these 2 teams met, Philadelphia jumped up 5-0 in the first quarter and really ended that game early. Look back to the opening game this year, and Philadelphia goalie Dallas Elliott did not play in the first quarter. Actually, Andy Piazza played. And looking at statistics, you'd have to think that Elliott is 3 to 4 goals better than Piazza. But right now, Philadelphia looks to be pressing a bit on offense, and they seem to be a little over-aggressive on defense. Let's swing it across the court to Leaf.
All right, Q and Christy Lee. So far, there's been a lot of pressure from Buffalo. They look comfortable. Key is, as you guys mentioned very graphically, Cowie has to come out with a big first quarter. Shot backside, doesn't go past Cowie. He's looking more comfortable as they go on. But who's going to dent the net first? Aired up front. Tavares tries to find him. He can't pull it down. That's about 4 times they've passed to somebody right in front of Elliott, and they haven't handled the ball. Buffalo still tight as far as ball handling is concerned. In close on Cowie, crease violation, and the ball will go back to Buffalo. Unlike the last time they played, it's Buffalo getting the 2-3 shot offensive set, and it's Philadelphia getting 1 shot and out. And don't believe that Tony Rush doesn't realize that. He's concerned about the defense on their team. He knows that Dallas Elliott is keeping him alive. This is the 3rd line for Buffalo. In close! Batley cannot beat the great Dallas Elliott. They get the ball back. Again, as I mentioned, 2-3 shot sets on offense. This is a successful formula for Buffalo. They didn't get this the 2 other times they played Philly earlier in the year. New mix of people. Now they have a better idea of what they can do. This is one of the new guys, Ciccone. Gets it through, back door. Batley has it, 12 seconds on the shot clock. Out front, Gary Gates seemed to have lost a glove on his hand. He gets a new one. Marechek brings it down. Cowie makes the easy save. Cowie looks very comfortable. He's made about 3 saves, has settled down. Again, surviving the first quarter is critical for Buffalo, and they're doing that right now. Can they get the first goal? Elliott with 9 saves already. He's getting hammered with shots by Buffalo. 4 for Cowie. Troy Cordingley, the second leading goal scorer for this team, tried to get it on Elliott, but behind the back doesn't go. Shot clock down to 3. They're going to burn up another possession. They've lost it 3 times on shot clock.
Behind the Phillies!
Ball goes back to Philly.
25 seconds.
Kevin Finneran, the great assist man, gives it over to Bates. Bates, give and go into the corner. Watch out, Cordingley on to the run. He's got a bad break. Trailing player. No, Cordingley. They're saying no. No goal. Goal judge gave it to him. They say no. Elliott made another sensational save. Fast break by Troy Cordingley. He looks to his trailing player. No, he had the better shot. Bates can't catch him. Shot down low. Look at Elliott. He smashes it down by his knee. Goal judge gave it to him for a moment. They had the red light on, but they took it off the board. Still, no score first quarter. Finneran looking for a shot. Again, another shot of the live action, but on the other end, Philly gets a score. They get first blood in the first quarter, as they normally do. It's Kevin Finneran working it down low. Gates couldn't do it. Marechek couldn't, but Kevin Finneran, the great assist man, gets goal number 1. He has 6 goals coming in, and he just kept pushing it low. Watch Finneran from Ohio Wesleyan finally rockets it from low to high. That is a great goal. 1-0. Philadelphia leads with 7:30 left in the first. Nostrid way out front. Cowie saying, where's the defense? Don't let Nostrid shoot from there. Nostrid's got a great shot from up high. Cowie doesn't want him to have that uncontested. First quarter critical for Buffalo to survive, and if they're close, they feel probably that that's good enough.
Don't hold them, Gray! Don't hold them!
Nostrid likes the outside shot. Air gets picked. Throw Grady, far side now. Flynn wants the right hand. Tavares just working his right hand, taking it away from him. Here comes Tavares. Up to the man, Hall. Hall's looking across to Veltman. Veltman's coming down. He'll try to get shots. All the way across to Hall. Can't pick it up. Here comes Nostrid. Fast break action, both ends of the field. Nostrid looks for the trailing player. Finneran had the first goal as they reset the offense. Quit.
Evan, first goal, you guys seem to be pressing here a little early. Is there more pressure on you guys than people anticipate?
No, it's just 2 teams going hard at each other, you know. Everybody's going to make their mistakes early.
There's
Kilgore. Lucky Dallas playing great.
Dallas Elliott keeping Philadelphia in this ballgame, Leif.
No question, Quentin, right there. Kilgore respected his save ability so much, he sort of missed the goal. That's what happens when a goalie comes up with a huge effort. You start picking your shots too cleanly. Gary Gates rocks one in. Rope for Gary Gates, 2-0, Philadelphia.
Timeout! Here we go, fellas. Grind it now. Timeout.
So Buffalo has controlled really more shot opportunities, but Elliott has turned them all away, and now 2 straight goals for Philly on Ross Cowie. The pressure's on Cowie. He's got to get tight here in the first quarter. No, Christy Lee and Quint Kessenich, 2-0. 2-0. Goose egg for Buffalo, even though they've controlled more offensive opportunities. They've had twice as many possessions. They've had a lot of possessions, 3 with more than 1 shot. They've had 2 two-shot possessions, 1 4-shot possession. Philadelphia has only had 6 possessions against 11 for Buffalo, and all of them have been 1-shot possessions. Just like that. See, Buffalo gets it right back. Good. But they've let 2 go in, and Philadelphia controls. So all the control offense in the world won't make a difference if they can't solve Dallas Elliott. Batley down low, looking in for a run. He's got it. Batley starts it up front. He looks down low. I think it's Ciccone that gets it on the side. And look, he sneaks around by himself. Fakes low, goes up high. It's Batley who finishes it off. Comes around again, fakes low. Batley goes up, finds Rote. Buffalo has controlled the game so far, even though they are down 2-1. If they maintain composure, their team looks like they can compete with this Philadelphia squad, which is truly the cream of the crop in the Major Indoor Lacrosse League. They come in 7-1. Ciccone comes down and beats Dallas. That's the third line that scored the last 2 goals. Beltman and Tavares yet to dent the net. Here comes Hall. Hall looking for Rowe. Can't get it. Gary Gait makes the check from behind. Philadelphia rocked by 2 straight goals. It's a 2-2 game. 4:30 left. Here comes Gary Gait, MVP this year. Tries to get it past Cowie, who makes the save with his elbow. Philadelphia, though, for the first time tonight, gets the ball back, but no! Tavares picks it up. He's hammered from behind, and that'll be the first penalty of the game. Gabrielson gets 2 in the box. First power play for Buffalo, and the first chance to take the lead.
On the 8. 8. Hold. 2 minutes.
Here comes Tony Resch looking for big defense because the first power play of the game can give Buffalo the first lead. Beltman down to Tavares. They go into a shift. Tavares comes up front looking for Hamley in front, but knocked down by Miller. Tremendous play by Miller. Critical chance to score in time. They can't get the shot off. Cordingley is hammered. Hamley can't get the shot. To Darius Kilgore. And Cordingley was rocked. He is still down. The clock has stopped.
Did they get a shot on goal? They didn't get a shot on goal. We still have a 5-second shot clock.
Cordingley is down.
Well, please.
Watch the hit come from behind right there. The hit high on Martin. That should have been a penalty. Martin went above the shoulders. That should have been 2 minutes in the box. 2-2 game.
Christy Lee along with Dean Ciccone. Dean, you scored the second goal here in the 30 seconds to tie the game up. You got to feel good about that, and you got to feel good about playing this playoff game at home.
Well, we're fortunate enough to be in the playoffs right now. We're just going out trying to work hard. It's going to be a long game. We're just going to play tough defense, go for loose balls, and hopefully everything will turn out our way.
Dean Ciccone, leave.
All right, meanwhile, Christy Lee, a bad blow to Buffalo. They had a power play, but not any longer. The shot to the head by Cordingley was not picked up by the refs.
32. Delayed game, threw the ball away, 2 minutes.
And Jim Beltman gets called for delay of game. Now, the delay of game call is because Jim Beltman rolled the ball away from the ref when they lost possession. That gives them 2 minutes in the box. Now it's Marechek playing 4-on-4. Inside, Gary Gait.
Interference right here. Interference.
No. Hold call. Ball goes back to Buffalo. So even though Gary scored, the whistle had already blown. We've got 3:43 left in the first. It's all tied at 2. Philadelphia scored the first 2. Then Buffalo answered. And they had a chance to go ahead with the power play, but didn't get it done. Derek Laub couldn't take that pass from Aird. We got a cross-check call against Gary Gait.
I take it.
So Gabrielson in the box for Philly. Gary Gait goes in the box for Philly. And Jim Veltman, the all-around player, as we look at the bench for Philly. Jim Veltman in the box for Buffalo. The Buffalo now will be okay. They're playing 4-on-3. Kilgore just walks in and rocks it. 3-2, the first lead for Buffalo. Elliott getting shellacked with a lot of offense.
Go to the bench, a lineup. Go to the bench, a lineup. 4-on-4.
It's a 4-on-3. The point man has to cover 2 people. Kilgore just sees the white and ropes it from about 30 feet. Watch it take a corner. Elliott trying to cut the angle, but too much velocity on that one. Nothing but smoke. And Kilgore gets the 9th goal of the year for himself. He could be a big factor for Buffalo. 3:16 left in the first. 3-2. Buffalo gets their first lead. They've scored 3 straight goals. Teams will be at even strength 4-4 for a little while. Loud can't beat Dallas. Buffalo continues to get good shots in the face of Dallas Elliott. Marechek, tremendous player from Syracuse. Great stick skills with the right hand. Can shoot behind the back as well as anybody. He worked on Johnny Tavares. Comes inside. Tavares taking away his right hand, but picked up by Derek Laub. Now he's got some confusion on defense. Tries to go high over Cowie, but he fills it up. Shot clock down to 7. Buffalo gets it back. Tavares looks for the fast break. All the way up to Stewie Aird, but Finneran's there. Aird fights Finneran. Push call. Let's go to the Philadelphia bench and Scott Gabrielson and Quint Kesselnick.
We will, Coach, we will.
All right, we're back to live action. We'll get Quint and Scott in a moment. Right now, Darius Kilgore going one-on-one with Finneran, looking Hamley underneath him. It's 4-on-4 for a little while. 44 inside. Batley can't beat Elliott. Cordingley's back in the game, and Elliott with another arm save. In 15 seconds, Beltman's back on the floor, and they'll be up for another 20 seconds. And right now, Philly's got the ball. Martin from Penn State all by himself. He's got a goal.
Nobody comes out. Nobody comes out. 4-on-4.
Martin comes down by himself. Cowie couldn't believe it. Nobody played defense. Martin, even though playing defensive specialist for Philly, one of the all-time greats from Penn State in the offensive end. Look at defense comes too late. Martin finds the corner. Game tied at 3. Gary Martin. Record maker as far as games played for Philadelphia. Gary Martin played in more games right now than any other Philadelphia Wings player in the history of the franchise. He will retire after this year. This could be his last game. You know he'll be giving it everything he's got. Aird looks cross court, can't find anybody. Tavares is inside. Marechek checks it out of the stick. Aird picks it up again. Great loose ball in front. Ciccone can't find Rowe. Tavares can't get it. Ciccone follows up. Nobody there. Tavares again. Dallas Elliott is superhuman.
Right here.
That was a 5-shot offensive set. Look at this man, Dallas Elliott, first team All-Pro for good reason. They cannot beat him. 5 shots on that set, and Elliott by himself is keeping him in this game. It's a 3-3 contest, 1:17 left. Real time on this one. We're not slowing this down, folks. This is the way he's facing these shots. Elliott, unbelievable. But Buffalo continues to put the pressure on. Moving the ball inside. Closing moments in the first quarter, a minute left. Buffalo with a lot of offenses watching. Close, Batley! Can't beat Elliott. Unbelievable. Elliott is getting pressured. G.T. Corrigan saying, give him some help. Les Bartley saying, keep up the pressure. They've got a good formula. I think they've survived the first quarter, and right now it's 3-3. They have to be happy. It's much different than it has been the first 2 times they faced Philadelphia this year. Squire up to Rosen. This line has been pretty effective. That shot not challenging the great Dallas Elliott at all. 39 seconds left in the first quarter. Plenty of time for the great Philadelphia Wings to get a go-ahead goal. Flynn comes in, bounces it to his teammate, and he is nailed by Buffalo Ciccone.
Let him up, nothing.
Inside, Jimmy Rogers can't beat Cowie. 22 seconds left. Buffalo will have a chance to get a last shot. You might see Cowie come out for a 6th man. Here comes Tavares. 15 on the quarter clock. You see it counting down on your screen. Tavares wants to get a shot. Timeout called by Buffalo to get one shot in this first quarter. They can take the lead with a shot and a goal here.
Good job out there, Tree. Way to go, Dino.
Les Bartley's got something up his sleeve. His game plan has been pretty good against the best team in the league.
Here we go. Listen up. Stay here. Going to 6-on-5. Want a goal off of this one. Okay. 6-on-5. Okay. Hey, listen to me. 6-on-5. We've got 2 plays now. Remember, Johnny, if we can get the ball down to Johnny, we want to come around. Okay. Hey, get the ball down, Johnny. There goes 2. 2-1-2. They pull it. First challenge right here. Hey, we got to go 2-1-2 right now. They're in. They got to go and pull.
We're at the odd where, with 10 seconds left, the goalie has been pulled for Buffalo. They are going to go 6-on-5 for the last 10 seconds. They're opening themselves up to a little bit of a chance here, but they try to get a good shot. Veltman can't beat Elliott. Nobody can beat Elliott. He has been the sensation of the first quarter for Philadelphia. Last shot, first quarter ends 3-3. It's been all offense for Buffalo, and this man for Philadelphia, he's kept them in the game single-handedly. Formula for teams. Philadelphia this year, as have been the last 2 champions, the top 3 scorers score most of your goals. The next 5 guys have to get most of your loose balls. Look at Buffalo this year. Top 3 scorers are doing their job, but the next 5 guys are not getting the loose balls. That's the season number. They're doing it tonight, though. For Philadelphia, the winning formula is this guy, Dallas Elliott, filling it up. First team All-Pro has been impossible to beat. He has been shelled with a lot of offense from Buffalo. They haven't been able to beat him. 3 threes to score. Buffalo, though, has to be happy with that first quarter. I think everyone would agree that they have nullified the huge charge that Philadelphia applies to most teams. Now they switched ends. In close, Veltman looking for Roven again. Elliott, arm save. They've had a lot of multiple shot possessions, and they get another one here. They've had about 6 or 7 multiple shot possessions.
Billy!
Philadelphia has had none yet tonight, and that's usually where they kill people. Oh, get broke! Nobody can play better than Dallas Elliott, but he's getting 2 and 3 shots to look at every possession. Hall gets it in the cylinder right in front of Elliott. A lot of players have tonight. Look at how they feed it right into the middle. Hall's wide open, gets a moment to look, and beats Elliott for the 4th time tonight. They lead by 1. Buffalo has their 2nd lead of the game. They open up the 2nd quarter with the first goal, and here is Philly. But they have really put pressure on Elliott. Philadelphia, has had no multiple shot offenses. None. In close. Cowie makes a save on a tight shot. Ball goes again to Buffalo. So another chance for a 1-shot offensive set. This is what most teams look like against Philadelphia. First quarter stat summary. Look at the shots. 24-11 in favor of Buffalo. Loose balls, they're killing them. 19-6. Face-offs 4-3. The story of the game for Philly has been Dallas Elliott. Otherwise, it'd be a 5-goal lead for Buffalo. Ball comes in close. Here comes Philly. Meanwhile, Christy Lee's got Brian Hall, the last goal scorer.
Brian, a big goal to start the 2nd quarter. You guys are getting shot after shot at Dallas, and you got one past him.
Well, keep shooting. Sooner or later they're going to go in. Stewie made a nice pick there on the other side, sprung me. A little bit of net there.
All right, thank you very much, Brian Hall. Bandits back on the attack, Leach.
And slow footwork there for Philly as Batley comes in. He is tripped, but no call. Ball in the corner. Nobody blows the whistle. Shot clock goes down to 24. Again, Philadelphia got one shot, and that was it. Buffalo comes down with their offensive set. This is Troy Cordingley. Shoots from outside. Can't beat Dallas. Martin, a great defensive player. Has played more games than any other Wings player. Playing his last game tonight. Philadelphia not had a multiple shot possession yet tonight, and that is critical. That's the way the other teams usually look. Gary Gait coming in close, and he finds Rowe. He's got it. Goal number 4.
Hey, we need a face. We need a face.
The problem here was Gary Gait got inside the defense. The slide came a little bit too late. They tried to check behind him. Watch inside the pick and roll work. They picked off Darius Kilgore. Rich Kilgore couldn't get over in time, and Gary Gait worked the pick and roll with Govett beautifully. Second goal tonight, Gary Gait doing his job. Gary Gait, the MVP this year. Back to Buffalo. Game tied at 4. We're in the second quarter. Shot from the outside. Again picked up by Air, but the shot clock down to 20. They don't get a fresh one. Brian Hall, the last goal scorer, coming in the cylinder. Tried to sneak one past Elliott, but picked up by Brian again. Inside. Cochran. He loads up, looking for Rowe. Can't get a shot off.
He's in there. He's in, going out. Drop the ball.
Lost possession for Buffalo. They still put pressure on Elliott, and here comes Philly. In close. Marechek wraps it around. Ball loose, and a goal. Cowie couldn't quite make the save, so Philadelphia continues to put pressure on, and they take the lead 5-4. Cowie still not making the huge saves, keeping his team in it, but the offense they put on Elliott really should have given him a bigger lead. Cowie's got to come up a little tighter. The offense is putting pressure on Elliott, but Elliott and Marechek and Gait doing it for Philly.
In the situation with the goalies, that's a momentum breaker. That's what you try and use in that particular situation. I have confidence to go to either goalie, so I can say I usually use a rule of if they've scored 3 goals, it's time to make a change. So I might call a timeout. That's one momentum breaker, or I might call, hey, it's time for a goaltender's change, and let's see what's happening. Boy, I'll tell you, we've been successful with some of that stuff because we've had people come in and play just unbelievable games. Sometimes you're not at your best starting in the game. You're at your best coming into a game.
And that's what they hope for Gary, because he came into this game in the second quarter. Cowie got real weak. He had a bunch of goals, 3 straight against him. Gary was making a lot of saves, but look at this, 4 straight shots in 1 offensive set. And finally they beat Gary. They lead by 4 with 8:36 left.
A
little bit of argument over Cordingley and Govett. Face off. Every possession critical. Philadelphia really starting to mount up the pressure on the goalies of Buffalo. They've got to get the help. 5 unanswered goals for Philadelphia. And those 5 goals came in a 4-minute span. But Philadelphia again gets the ball. So Cordingley, Tavares, and company for Buffalo control the ball in the first quarter, and now it's been all Philadelphia in the second.
Let him run!
Buffalo tried to come out and get a lot of goals, but Elliott just sealed them shut. Hold call against Buffalo. It'll be another Philly offensive set with a fresh 30 seconds clock. 8:14 left, second quarter. Leif Ellsbury along with Christy Lee and Quint Kessenich. They're on the sidelines, bringing you all the in-close stuff from each team. Back to Gait from Marechek. Gait gets wrapped in the head by Darius Kilgore. That's a 2-minute penalty, and now Kilgore will try to get the ball on the ground. No, the whistle blows.
He's got 2 roughing. 2 roughing. See you later. 2 for roughing. You got that number on the original hold? 43. It's all right. 43 hold. Don't worry about it. We got 2 men going down. 43 hold. 28 Hamlin. 28.
Bandits get themselves in trouble with penalties. Look, they lead the league in penalties, and that can kill them. They are looking at a possibility of the wheels coming off the cart early.
28 roughing. Nobody even needs to be near him. Okay? On the face-off team. Okay? They're looking for that stuff. Okay? Not you, everybody. Okay? Just take a deep breath. Okay? You did the right thing. You walked away.
Time out, please. Time out. Time out. Time out.
Timeout called by Philadelphia. It'll be a power play when they come back. They've got 2 players in the box for Buffalo. It'll be a 5-on-3 for Philly. They're taking over the game. Against Darius Kilgore. And his brother came over to put an exclamation mark on it. Makes a 5-on-3. This is almost a certain goal. Marechek comes in looking for rope against Geary. Very tough to ask Geary and company to save themselves from a goal in this situation. Nostrand likes to shoot in close. Gary Gait can't beat Geary. Follow-up can't beat Geary. It's 5-on-3. It's almost a gimme. Holding against Buffalo. They've turned it back to at least the first 30 seconds. They've got two people in the box. There's Kilgore and Bob Hamlin. Both for a minute 35 more. Tavares on the field now. This is impossible to ask. They're down by 4. It's almost certain that Philadelphia will score sometime in the next 2 minutes. They're down 2 players. And here's Veltman. Veltman trying to get a shorthanded goal. 3-on-5. That would have been a huge goal, but he didn't get it. Now here comes the pressure. Gary Gait comes back to relieve the offense. Very calm. Gait knowing he has a full minute left on both penalties. It'll be 5 against the defensive 3. The 3 defenders and Geary. Geary has made the big stop so far. Here comes Tavares. Another big save. They've got Finneran in front. Finneran coming down. Tavares. Finneran rides Tavares out. And again, Geary comes up big. 40 seconds left now. This would be a major boost emotionally. Buffalo down by 2, but they're holding off the team. Cordingley tries to beat Elliott. That was a gamble because he gave the ball back.
Good.
Cochran comes on with Hall and Stu Aird. It's those 3 that try to stop the offense one more time. 23 seconds left. Here comes Nostrand. He can't get the shot, but Gary Gait gets the ball. Gait. Defense collapsing. Finneran out front. He misses it. Rebound can't get it. Stu Aird goes back. He picks it up. That may be enough. They've only got 9 seconds left. They have successfully stalled 2 penalties. It's unbelievable. Here comes Hall putting pressure on Elliott. Can't find rope. Both players come back on the field. Hamley and Darius Kilgore. And they did it. Gary Gait cranks out, finds rope from the outside, and after doing the impossible, Gary Gait makes it look easy, getting goal number 9, a 5-goal lead. Well, they did the impossible. 2 men down for 2 minutes, and they did not allow a goal. But then watch Gary Gait. They were worried about the pick. He just winds up and shoots. And Philadelphia has been killing Buffalo the last 3 games with shots that don't look that tough. Buffalo just can't seem to stop the outside shots. Now, their charge is how do we beat Dallas Elliott? 5:25 left in the second quarter. They've got to get it past Elliott if they're going to have a chance. Kilgore can't beat him. They're right in the face of Dallas Elliott. They just can't beat the first team All-Pro. This man, Dallas Elliott, right now stopping Kilgore. Bartley, a little bit concerned. First quarter is when he should have had a lot of goals, but it was Elliott, this goalie, who really turned him back. Philadelphia has owned the second period. They've scored 6 straight. Volker, Johnny Nostrand, like to shoot out here at the left hand. Gary Martin, Laub on him. Volker, the defensive specialist, almost beats Geary. He looks for the fast break, tries to get it to Cordingley. Cordingley cannot pull it in, and the ball goes out of bounds, so they don't even get an offensive shot. Buffalo, out of sync. They were in a great offensive charge early on. But lately, they have not been in sync, have not gotten multiple shots like they did in the first quarter. It's been the class of the league, the Philadelphia Wings taking over the game. Still time, but not a lot of it. Govett got rope. So Philadelphia, much like they did last year against Buffalo, just shooting shots from the outside that don't look like they're world beaters and just eating up the goaltenders for Buffalo. They make the tough saves inside, but these outside shots are killing them. Good shot by Govett, a 10-4 game, and they are getting ready to rock and roll in Philly. 6-goal lead with 4 minutes left in the first half. Into coverage of Major Indoor Lacrosse, the Boston Blazers against the Rochester Nighthawks. That's our next playoff game as we move toward the playoffs. That's tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. on the Deuce. Dietrich, the hottest goalie in the league, playing for Rochester. Meanwhile, Buffalo's in deep, deep trouble. Hold against Veltman. They give the ball to Philly, even though Marichek already had it in his stick. They've scored 7 straight goals. And they have controlled the second quarter after Elliott kept them in the first quarter. Buffalo really came out strong. They put a lot of shots in Elliott's face, but Philadelphia remained calm, and they are doing their thing right now. Gary Gait against Cochran. He gets doubled by Hall. He still's got the ball. Somebody's going to be wide open. There's the man. Shot, and it goes. He gets roped from outside. Rogers, again, with one of those outside shots that look so innocent. They're good shots, but Buffalo has trouble with them. Jimmy Rogers from Villanova. Look at the double team. Now you know somebody's open. Hall's there, and then Gait finds the open man. It's Rogers out front, and Jimmy Rogers just nails it. From way up top, Buffalo just can't seem to stop the outside shots. Goalkeeping has been the biggest difference in the Buffalo team this year. They have not had good and consistent goalkeeping. They were hoping Cowie would be the guy. Look at the score, 11-4. Cowie is back in the game. They figured Gary can't do the outside shots, so they're putting it back in the hands of Cowie. We heard Les Bartley talk about the change momentum. He's hoping that this would be a lift for his team. But he, quite frankly, as you can see, is searching and searching hard for somebody to stop some shots. It won't matter much if his team doesn't get the ball. Far side, Cowie makes a big save, but again, here comes Philly. Inside, they can't get it past Cowie again. Cowie's hurt. 8 unanswered goals for Philadelphia, and more importantly,
Gray ball, gray ball.
the ball goes back to Philly, goes back to Philly. They can't get the ball. If they don't get the ball, they're not going to get a chance to come back. Govett with a big goal in a big game so far. Quint's got him.
Govett, your outside shots seem to be the key. You scored 8 in a row now.
I tell you what, I didn't even know we scored 8 in a row. We're not looking at the scoreboard. We're just working hard. We're doing the little things we weren't doing at the beginning of the game.
Goalie differential key, Leaf. Elliott's making the saves, and Buffalo's goaltender's not coming up with them.
They really aren't, Quint. And the other thing is that the team, Buffalo, they got all the loose balls in the first quarter, have been dominated by Philadelphia in the second quarter. So Buffalo has to get some offensive sets and some multiple shots to put some pressure on Elliott. They haven't had them. 11-4 right now. They're in danger of being way out of this one. They try to get it close. They find a shot, and they can't beat him again. Elliott stands tall. But they get a fresh shot clock. Rosa from Detroit to Ciccone. This is a lot of guys from the Detroit team that they got last year. Now that shot or feed came into Redwood, but he was defensed beautifully by Paul Denikin.
Go, fellas, you'll vote. No way, dive, no way.
Denikin tried to buy one there with a little bit of an acting job. Really kind and salt, wouldn't go for it. Unfortunately, it's been a long time since Buffalo had the ball. When they went down there, the third line was in. You haven't seen Tavares and Veltman with the ball too much. Watch Martin! He can't get it past Ross Cowie. You don't see many teams. Shot clock violation. 1:42 left in the second quarter. Second quarter has been disaster for Buffalo. But Corrigan, Tony Resch, head coach at Philadelphia, have really taken over the game. In close, Tavares, this team won't lay down yet. Finally, I talked about how you haven't seen their big guns on the field. Eric gets it into Tavares. Finally, you got your top gun taking a shot. and that's his first goal of the game. More often than not, you've seen the third line in there when they wanted to get a good shot on Dallas Elliott. That time, Veltman into Tavares. They couldn't collect it. Elliott gets the ball with 1:06 left. Now it's a 6-goal lead for Philadelphia. And Gayton comes back out. Watch out for this offense. But you've seen Gayton coming out here a lot for Philly. You just haven't seen the first line, Veltman and Tavares, doing much more than playing defense. Bartley's got to solve that, get his big guns on offense a lot more. Cowie won the rebound, looks for the outlet. Can't find a man. Watch out, Stu Aird. Stu Aird against Rogers. Picked up, Covett looking for backdoor, and Cowie the huge save. Covett with a follow-up. He can't find it. Third shot coming up. Fourth shot. Cowie with a behind-the-back save. Cowie has really improved his game. He came out of the game in the beginning of the second quarter. He's back in now. Maybe too late.
Timeout, Philadelphia.
Philadelphia calls a timeout with 28 seconds left. Shot clock is off, which means they will have a chance to get the final shot. Tony Resch will set up a play.
There you go. Get a good look. Way to scrap, guys. Way to rebound. John McAvoy. John McAvoy. John. Put my gum on the dot. Tell Roscoe if he can follow it up, bring it up. Follow it. Here we go. Here we go. Got it deep first. No more timeouts. Right? Tell Roscoe to follow it up. Back up. We'll wait for it. We want to keep back running. Okay? Look at that. Yeah, nobody will be near you. Tommy, stay away from that. Bowie?
All right, George Corrigan, Tony Resch.
Here we go.
The coaches for Philadelphia set up the last play. You've got your top line in there. Gary Gait being defensed by Veltman. Nostrin gets it to him, and Veltman's on him. Pick and roll against him. Finneran picks off Veltman. Now a double team on him. Watch out. Here comes Stewie Aird. Stewie Aird tries to gang, tackle him, and they try to get down to McAvoy for the finishing shot. Buffalo. Hall's got it. They've got time for one. 9 seconds. Up to Stewie Aird. Stewie Aird looks into the middle. He's going to take one. Looking for Rowe. Can't get it. Hall with the follow. The half runs out. They don't get another shot. And that'll end it up 11-5. The Wings have owned the second quarter. We were afraid that they would blow out of the guns there, out of the chute, and control the first quarter, but they were controlled the first quarter. The second quarter was Philadelphia's. Let's go to Christy Lee on the sideline of Buffalo.
Well, I know this is tough for you, Jamie, down this many goals, but what can you do to come back in the second half?
We're going to have to slow it down a little bit, get them out of their running game. They're running us quite a bit. We got to pick the ball up on our end and break out, set it up on offense, and get our scoring chances. Play tough defense. We're spread out too much on defense. We got to tighten it up on defense.
What about your goaltending? You've switched goaltenders now twice, 3 times in the first half. What do you think they're going to do in the second?
I think he's probably going to come back with Ross. You know, Ross put a couple long ones in. He's done that earlier in the year, but a couple weeks ago, Ross played very well. So I think he's probably going to come back with Ross. Hopefully we can stop the long ball against Philly.
You had a special hello you wanted to say today.
I want to say hi to my friends in Bowie, Maryland, and want to say hi to my friend Jack Farmer. Hope he gets better soon, Jack. And hi to Peterborough.
All right, thank you, Jamie Valley for the Buffalo Bandits. Jamie's going to go take a break. We're going to get ready for our halftime show here in the Odd. But first, we're going to let you take a look at our weekly feature. It's called Rules and Tools, and tonight it deals with the goalie and how they pull that net.
Now it's time for the Rules and Tools of the Mill, brought to you by Old Spice High Endurance Deodorant and the alcohol-free sensitive aftershave. A Mill goalie cannot move the net to increase his chance of making the save. Check out Wings goaltender Dallas Elliott as he hugs the post to his right. Notice as he dives across the crease to make the save, he pulls the net to create a smaller target. Another look clearly shows Elliott's hand yanking the cage from its set position. This is a personal foul, a 2-minute penalty served by the goalie.
Yeah, I took the high endurance.
Playoff game in the Mill where the Philadelphia Wings lead the Buffalo Bandits 11-5. We're at the odd in Buffalo. Quint, quickly your thoughts on that first half.
I think Elliott in the goal for Philadelphia early on, making a couple key saves, kept them in the ball game, and then they went on their 8-goal spurt in the second quarter, and obviously Buffalo not getting half the goaltending that Philadelphia is.
That's right. Buffalo is a bit stunned at this point. I'm sure Les Bartley's going to discuss that at halftime. But right now, parity happens to be the key this year in the Mill in the regular season, and that made it even more difficult to select an all-pro team. But the players did get together, and here is their 1995 Mill All-Pros. Heading up the first-team All-Pro selection from the Philadelphia Wings is Gary Gates. He led the league in points with 48 and goals with 30. Some that had fans saying, did he really do that? We all know about Gary's offensive capabilities, but how about his defensive effort this year? Gary was more determined to be the consummate two-way player, and he was, diving after balls and beating opposing players in the corners. Despite having an injured back, Paul Gate made it to first-team All-Pro. Add to that the pressure of being a team leader for the expansion Nighthawks, and he still was fourth in the league in points and goals, and he was the only full-time player not to visit the penalty box. Last year's MVP, John Tavares, is once again first team. Although his Bandits may have slipped, he didn't. His 24 goals tied for second best. Top that with a third best in assists with 21, and you get the league's second best score. Another Bandit to make it first team All-Pro is Jimmy Veltman, known as the human vacuum cleaner for his ability to gobble up loose balls. Jim led the Mill again with 91 and was second in the league in assists with 24 and third in points. The final offensive player to the first team, Ted Dowling. His explosiveness off the bench became such a lethal weapon that it got its own nickname, the Dowling Dash. Ted was tied for second in goals and was eighth in points and seemed to be the missing link in the Boston Blazer attack. The goalie for the first-team All-Pros, the Wings, is Dallas Elliott. If there's a player in the league with more pride than I haven't met him, Dallas has had a rough year in the net, whether it's been pulling muscles or getting 100-mile-per-hour shots off his face, but he keeps bouncing back. He was second in the league in saves per game and first in wins. The second-team All-Pro is led by the Blazers' Tom Carmine. He led the league in assists and was fourth in points. Last year's Rookie of the Year, Tom Hollywood Marichek, can add All-Pro to his resume. Tom was fifth in goals, sixth in assists, and sixth in points. The Baltimore Thunder had three players on the second team, led by Tim Horms, who led the Thunder in shorthanded goals. Second-year player Mark Millen, who was MVP in the World Games in '94, seemed to adapt to the Mill. He tied the Thunder in goals, along with Bob Martino, the third member of the Thunder, to make it to the second team as an All-Pro. In goal from the Nighthawks, Steve Dietrich. Steve led the league in saves per game and save percentage, and loose balls for goalies.
Welcome back to the Autumn Buffalo, 11-5. I tell you what, Philadelphia's taking over this game in the second quarter. I'm Lee Felsbo. Let's take a look at the stats to show you how Philadelphia has done. Philadelphia really controlling the game from the defensive end. Buffalo put a lot of pressure on, but the stats will show you that it's been all Dallas Elliott. Let's go to those stats right now and show you that the loose balls have been controlled by the team from Buffalo. But the save department is all in favor. 28 saves for Dallas Elliott. He has been the sensation of the game for Philadelphia. Shot chart will show you also the story of shooting and the weakness in the goal for Buffalo. First of all, the Wings. Look at the 5 goals from outside. 5 goals from way out front. Those were the killers for the Buffalo squad. Let's look at the Buffalo shot chart, and you'll see what a great job Elliott has done. The Bandits had a great game plan. They put 20 shots in the face of Elliott right in the front, and he saved all but 3 of them. So that'll do our Bud Light halftime report for this halftime of our playoff game. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by the Buffalo Hilton, the official headquarters of the Major Indoor Lacrosse League in Buffalo. Lee Felsbo, Christy Lee, and Quint Kesnick, half number 2 in our first playoff game of Major Indoor Lacrosse on the Deuce. The fans here in Buffalo love it. Philadelphia has controlled the game from the second quarter on. Quint Kesnick's on the Philadelphia sideline.
Leaf, at halftime, the Philadelphia players kicked the coaches out of the locker room. Chris Flynn stood up and actually gave a real rousing speech, and the rest of the players chimed in. This is a veteran squad, and they're really going to seize the moment here. They're not going to let this opportunity go away. So look for a big half from Philadelphia.
Well, they've got the 6-goal lead. Tavares tries to get in development. That's been one of the missing links for Buffalo. When they have had chances with the ball, it hasn't been in the hands of their top scorers. This guy, Veltman, number 11, Tavares, and Hall shoots now, looks for rope, can't beat Elliott. That's been the story defensively. But they've got to get their big guns shooting. They're 1-2 and they're trailing at halftime. Buffalo is down by 6 against the best team in the mill, Philadelphia. I'll tell you what, it doesn't look good for the Buffalo fans.
Here we go.
Trying to cool Marechek down as Hamley comes in. Buffalo has had the ball for the early moments of the second half. Trying to get a little bit of rope inside. Derek Lau can't find it yet. Derek Lau was the all-time leading scorer at Colgate. They get it inside to him. Look at that, the save initially off the pipe, and it bounces off Elliott to go in. Boy, it's hard to beat Elliott, but they'll take everyone they get. Down by 5 now, plenty of time in the game. They control the face-off again. Buffalo putting pressure on Elliott again, like they did in the first quarter. Back door to Lau. He's looking for a rope. He's got it. If you want to bring the fans back into the game, this is how you do it. 2 goals in less than 2 minutes. Rich Kilgore gets the penalty, but this is a goal that really counts. Both goals bounce off of Elliott before they go in. And it's Rich Kilgore's shot in. Look up top. Kilgore's shot to the head of Miller puts him in the box. A bonehead move. Watch Elliott again. This one off his back, and he knocks it in 2 in a row. To the right of the screen is the shot by Kilgore. Here his team is scoring 2 goals in a row.
Put the scoreboard back up 9 seconds, so we got 13 minutes. 13, 33, and 2 minutes. Yeah.
Bartley looking on with a little bit of a smile. We'll take a short break. They will come back. Philadelphia will have a man advantage, but Buffalo's got the move.
Second half of this first playoff game, Derek Lau scored 2 quick goals to start the half. You got to feel good about that.
Yeah, we know that Philly's a team of streaks, and right now we're trying to take it back in the second half. We knew we've got to get streaking right now, so we're trying to take it back from them. We played a good first quarter. Second quarter, they crushed us. We got out of our game plan, started to play forward defense. Now we're getting back into things, and we're hoping we can score 4 or 5 in a row.
You sound like Coach Bartley. I'm sure that's what he said at halftime, right?
What's the killer about this, Chrissy, is they were a man short. They were a man short. They get the face-off, and Cordingley, one of the big 3, finally steps up to the plate. Cordingley off the fast break. He's got a lot of room, looking for room. Yes. You hadn't seen much from Cordingley, Veltman, or Tavares in this game. They've got to step up. They're starting to do it now. Laub got the first 2 goals, but he was open because of the attention given to Veltman and Tavares. Watch for him this time. Cordingley wheeling, double team. Cordingley in tight, looking for rope. Tied in, back around the back. Cannot get it past the defense. This is 4 men for Buffalo shooting against 5 men for Philly. It's unbelievable. 2 seconds left on the shot clock, and they lose possession. 1 minute left on the penalty to Rich Kilgore. They've already scored once, man short. 3 unanswered goals in the third quarter. One of the the bright spots in the two meetings of Philadelphia and Buffalo this year has been 3 shorthanded goals coming into this game for Buffalo. They had another one moments ago with Cordingley. Now the power play, the feared power play from Philadelphia. The toughest team in the mill, 7-1 coming into this game. Finneran, nobody take him. They don't mind if he shoots from there. He's a dangerous feeder. Gary Gait rocks it, finds the corner. Great shot by Gait. He just nails the corner, and again, Ross Cowie showing his weakness on the outside shot. So Kilgore's absolutely senseless hit on Miller cost him a goal. They had great momentum. Kilgore gives him one back. Gait takes it on the power play. Winds up the left hand. Watch him find Roop in the corner. Cowie can't fill it up enough. Rich Flynn against Darius Kilgore. Flynn gets the fast break. Looking for Roop. Cannot get it against Cowie. He makes the big arm save. Cowie, what a big save, one-on-one. On the whole, Cowie has looked okay so far. Here's the fast break. Rich Flynn actually lost the ball. Came out of a stick at the last moment. He lost the ball before he got the shot off. Here comes Cordingley. Cordingley's getting a lot more active in the offense. Coming in with a shot, can't find the mark. You didn't see much of Cordingley in the first half. He's stepping up now, trying to make an impact. This is Darius Kilgore. Top on the inside, but Flynn takes it out of the stick. And Kilgore just takes him down. Look at the second quarter for Philadelphia. That's where they took over. Buffalo so focused on the first quarter, they ended up okay. And then the class of the league, Philadelphia shellacked them, embarrassed them in quarter number 2. Teams at even strength, 5-on-5. This game is well within the reach of Buffalo, but they don't want one of those streaks for Philadelphia to take them out of it. That's what they've got to play great defense about. Bates behind the goal. Cochran picks him up. Cochran on Bates out to Finneran. Finneran's a great feeder. His has one goal. He takes a shot. Good shot by Finneran. And Veltman off to the races against Denikin. Veltman loose. Veltman looking for Rowe. With Denikin. Denikin has position, but look at Veltman just deny him the ball and then dives in and beats Elliott. What a play by this all-pro player. Veltman is so critical to the success of Buffalo. He gets a goal, and they are back within 3, 12-9 in the third quarter.
Going out.
They've got 4 goals to 1 for Gates in this third quarter, and they've gotten goals from Cordingley and Veltman, 2 from Laub, and it's good to see Cordingley, Veltman, and Tavares back in the mix. Here comes another offensive set. Ciccone, Batley, can't find the mark. Push against Philadelphia, call on Nostrand.
Oh, then I'm consistent.
Rosa gets the ball knocked out inside Ciccone. It's a 2-goal game. Ciccone gets open in the middle and then beats Elliott again. Buffalo's got great momentum. A huge third quarter. Batley finds Ciccone, and he just beats the great all-pro. Again, the face-off controlled by Buffalo. It's a 2-goal lead for Philly. Inside, Cordingley gets checked from behind. A great play by Scott Gabrielson. Gabrielson made the big play there, but Ciccone made the big goal. Let's go to Christy Lee.
Dean, you're on a huge streak now.
Well, we're just trying to get one goal at a time. We know we're not going to come back 6 in a row. Take away one at a time. Go for the shot on net. Hopefully they'll wear down. A lot of time left still.
Hard. Dean Ciccone, Lee.
A lot of time is absolutely right. They have really gotten back in this game in the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. Here comes Veltman, reloading the offense. Down to Johnny T against Marichek. A good matchup for Johnny T. Takes a shot. Gobbled up by Elliott. This is Volker looking on, concerned. He's a defensive specialist, a great All-American from Hopkins. And this is the bench of Buffalo. It was Hammer Bob Hamley. Cowie gets the ball, and Buffalo again getting the multiple shot sets. Philadelphia getting the one-shot offenses. You can see that's the way it's gone. When they were on their streak, it was Philadelphia getting multiple shots on offense. Elliott was the story early. The offense for Philly was the story late in the second quarter. But now it's Buffalo trying to get back. Here comes Finneran. Great wheels. He's got Gary Gait to his right. Gary Gait gets the ball. Here he comes against two. And it's knocked out by Squires. Goes to Cowie. Great defense. Quarterly now brings back that powerful offensive set. Inside, there's Kilgore. Tries to go near side, can't beat him. Shot clock winding down. Here comes Philly. Finneran again. He's got to be a little tired looking across to Denikin. Finneran is tired. He goes out. Fresh legs come on for Bates. With Bates. This is McAvoy. Bates comes over, wants the ball. McAvoy waves them off.
Too many men. Too many men.
Too many men caught on Philly. It'll be power play for Buffalo. They can make it a one-goal game. And ESPN coverage of the Major Indoor League will continue to the championship game. It'll be live on ESPN Saturday, April 8th, 1 p.m. Don't miss it. This is the best action you'll find under a roof. Right now, power play for Buffalo. They can make it a one-goal game. Hammer Hamley triggers up top to Veltman. Tavares is below Veltman on the left-handed side. On that side, that's Darius Kilgore. Down to Troy Cordingley. Inside, Tavares looking for rope. He can't get it. Tavares tries to get it back out front. Big save by Dallas. Cordingley picks it up. They can't get it to the man in front. What a play by Philly. A chance for Buffalo to get a shot. Now they'll try to eat up at least 30 seconds. Buffalo will not take chances. Nostrin's a good outside shooter. He comes on. This is a penalty-killing unit. Jimmy Rogers from Villanova going against Tavares, and they gobble him up.
Reset! Reset!
They gave him a new shot clock on a push call by Tavares. Tough call by Fox on the far side. Tavares can't believe it. So they'll get a new 30-second shot clock. 1:20 left on the penalty. The only Wings victory at the Aud was in 1994 championship last year. A big one, 26-15. They took a lot of those outside shots. That is on the minds of Cowie. Jimmy Rogers working against the veteran Stu Aird. A lot of room, a lot of green. They're trying to kill time. 14 on the shot clock. They don't mind losing the possessions just to eat up some time off the power play. This is Gary Gait. He'll try to get a shot. Shot clock down to 6. He takes one, but he can't get it past Veltman. Tavares. They'll reload. 45 seconds left. This might be their last chance on this power play. They need to work it to perfection to beat the great Dallas Elliott. Hamley over to Darius. Kilgore dips and rolls inside. Cordingley can't beat Dallas. Cordingley had the shot down low. Couldn't do it. Kilgore. They got a fresh 30. Veltman down low. Cordingley dips and dunks inside. Rope. It was a move inside by Cordingley that beat two defenders. He took some patience, and he gets them back to within one. Cordingley, Veltman. Cordingley gets 2 goals in the third quarter. He's finally stepping up. He doesn't have great numbers against Philadelphia. It's been one of the knocks against him. He's one of the great scorers for Buffalo, but where has he been against Philadelphia? He's stepping up to the plate right now. Marichek coming in, trying to beat Cowie. Can't do it. Ball goes back to Buffalo. They're back to within 1 goal, folks. They've taken only a half a quarter to get right back into the game. And the momentum is on their side. Philadelphia has to break it somehow. There's Kilgore against the Dallas Elliott, who now has been beat. Oh, good juke move in close. Back to Cordingley, who couldn't pick it up. Scott Gabrielson had a great job of pulling it down. Look at the 6-1 run they have in the third quarter. Rogers, far side. He's got it. He just misses the net. Fast break. Kilgore, if he picks it up, he does. It's one-on-one. No goal. Big hit by Kilgore on the far side off of the screen, but he had a chance. He had a big pummel against Govett. You see Govett picking up his helmet on the far side. That was because Rich Kilgore ran him down. Kilgore might have been better off giving it to the other player trailing him. But he took the shot, didn't get it. Here comes Darius Kilgore. Open net.
16! 16!
That hit I told you about by Kilgore
16!
is going to cost him 2 more minutes. And Kilgore has hurt his team twice. This is the second time. He missed the offensive opportunity and hurts them with a penalty. 1 goal down, but here comes a chance for Philly to get back in. This rocket shot. Watch O'Grady, number 7. He takes it right in the face. It lodges in his mask, goes and it makes contact with his face. That shot at about 102 miles an hour. And Quint, how is he?
Take a look at this, Leaf. Helmet right here, ball right here. The ball can sneak through the face mask, and at 80 miles an hour, that's not a pretty sight. Back to you, Leaf.
Quint, I give him about 100 miles an hour, some of the fastest shots, so it's between 80 and 100. It's up there anyway. Nobody wants to take it in the face. Absolutely right. Cowie pushes back another chance for them to score. Now, if Buffalo's smart, they'll almost burn up the whole thing. There are 42 seconds left on the penalty. Gary Gait knows that. He wants the ball back. He runs down Stu Aird. They get it off to Veltman. He's tough to get the ball from. Down to Johnny T. Tavares. Martin against him. 12 on the shot clock. Tavares moving in. He'll get a shot. Can't find the mark. 23 seconds left. 5 on the shot clock. In close. They can't get it to Cordingley. Here comes Billy Miller. Shot clock violation. 17 left on the penalty. And at the All in Buffalo, the fans are really getting behind their team, trying to kill the penalty one last time. Cowie gets it collected. They do it. They kill the penalty. 5 more seconds left, and Buffalo will be even up. Veltman has the ball. Rich Kilgore's on the field, and they did it. They turned back another power play by the most feared offense possibly in the league, Philadelphia. Kilgore now with the ball. Team's even strength. Here comes the streaking Laub. No, this is coming from the sidelines. Redwood trying to beat Elliott. Can't do it.
Nothing stupid.
I think Buffalo would be better off really measuring their chances. 12-11 the score.
One more. One more.
Buffalo gets the ball back at the All here with 2:25 left. Lee Falls, no Christy Lee. Quinn Kesnick, a 1-goal lead for Philly, but Buffalo has a chance to tie it on this offense. We're still in the third quarter. That's inside. There's Kilgore! Can't get it to fall. Flynn picks it up. Great conditioned athlete. Watch him run. Nailed from behind and hit again on the side by Tavares. Here comes Gary Gait. In the open field, he is so tough. Volker's the trailer, but he goes back. It's all Gary Gait. Comes in. Jukes fakes the shot. Now he's picked up from the backside by Tavares. Cochran then picks him up after Tavares. He beats 2 players and can't get the shot off. Great effort by Gary. An individual effort that comes up with nothing. Hall with Aird to his right. Hall's got Aird down low, and behind him is Cordingley. Now Laub is in there. Here comes Hall pushing in for a shot. Goes behind for the trailing player. He's in position to shoot. Down low to Laub. They can't get it. And not a good shot. Gets it right back to Dallas Elliott. 1:25 left in the third. 12-11. We're at the All in Buffalo. 12-11. 1:13 left. And it is a 1-goal game in favor of Philly. They've got the ball. They can make it 2 here. But the defense for Buffalo has been tough. Back door. Can't beat Cowie. Where is it? He lost it for a moment. Veltman. The vacuum cleaner picked it up. Looks for a fast break. Tells everybody to calm down. 54 seconds left. They'd love to tie it here. The All's getting crazy. This team was down by a bunch, and they fought back.
From the front.
It was 11-5 at half, a 6-goal lead for Philly. And it's been all Buffalo, mostly in this third quarter. They are within 1 goal, tying it up. Shot clock is going to expire. They lost a great possession. A big chance for them.
Shot clock!
Lost. That was a huge mistake for the offense of Buffalo, but their defense has been pretty tight here with Cowie starting the game, leaving in the second quarter because of a little bit of lap for outside shooting, and he's back in the second quarter, played a pretty tough third. Batley against Marechek. Back to Marechek, give and go, watch out, here comes a fast break, upside is Veltman, he's up front, but they can't find him. 3 seconds left, that'll be the end of the third quarter. Veltman rockets one a little bit wide. Buffalo loves the third quarter effort by the Bandits. 6 goals and they're back in it.
Buffalo, where the Bandits have battled back in the third quarter. They're within 2 goals of leading, 1 goal of tying, and the stellar defense of the Bandits. Bob Hamley, you're part of that unit. Just tell us about that astounding third quarter.
Well, our backs are against the wall, and the guys are just sucking it up and playing well on our end. The goals are going to come. We just have to play defense, and we'll be there.
All right, Leaf, it's a 15-minute game now.
No question about it. Every possession critical, and Philadelphia gets the first big one because they win this faceoff. Immediately, they take off their faceoff unit and put on their high-powered offense. Marechek, 42. Irrigate on the backside with Govett. Moving pick, they lose the ball. It goes back to Tavares and company. The crowd reacts. You can see on the sideline that Paul O'Grady icing down his eye. He took the shot at Tavares. I don't think he's played since that hit. Ball brought down to Darius Kilgore. Rocks it from the outside. It goes off the head of one of the players. Accordingly, can't pick it up. Ball still loose. Laub looks up front. 6-5-4-3, and Elliott with a big save. Fresh shot clock, but Elliott gets possession. Buffalo is only 1-4 when trailing after the third, but I think in a game like this, throw out the numbers, folks, because everybody is giving it all. This is a do or die, which has a little bit different significance. The class of the league, Philadelphia. Here comes Harris Kilgore, gives it up to Redwood. No, it's Rich Kilgore's brother. He's got Hall to his right. Hall to the right, he fakes to Hall, gives it to him now. He's got Rowe. Throw, pull it back, and finally give it to him. Hall wraps around his back and stings it. He finds rope and beats the great Dallas Elliott. How long can Elliott hold up? It's been his backbone as a goalie. It's a new game, all tied. And the last 13 minutes and 23 seconds will decide who goes on to the final game against the winner of Rochester and Boston. In close, Ciccone can't get it on Cage, and Elliott picks it up. Great fast break by some people that haven't played into it all season long. Hall and Kilgore, not two of the players that you count on day in and day out, but the whole team is doing it. And Les Bartley said in the timeout before the fourth quarter, he says, we're not going to win this with one player. It's a team game. We're going to win it or lose it as a team. Shot clock down to 7. Down to Kevin Finley. Defense by Batley. Up front, watch out. Rocket shot. He misses. Fresh shot clock, but picked up. Loose ball. Great play. Buffalo now with their offense. Game tied at 12. Philly owned the second quarter. Buffalo owned the third quarter. They tied the first quarter, and they'll win it in the fourth. Veltman trying to get it to Johnny T. Can't get it past. Tavares still goes for the possession. He's knocked down, but he gives it back to Cochran. Shot clock to 5, 4, 3. And they'll lose it on a shot clock violation. Ball is loose. Look at Les Bartley. I'd say the sidelines are tense. You heard Quinn Kessler talk about Philadelphia. They kicked the coaches out of the halftime. And didn't do that much good. That summary all in favor of Buffalo, except for the faceoffs, about even. But they evened up the dominance that Philadelphia showed in the second quarter. Chris Flynn comes in and beats Cowie. Great play by Flynn. Flynn, an All-American at football, an All-American in lacrosse at the University of Penn, Pennsylvania. This guy really one of the great players. And Flynn comes in all guts, protects the stick against Tavares, and finds Rote. Again, Tavares casual on the defense. Flynn just gets around him, and then he dives out and fills the corner. 1-goal lead for Philadelphia. Buffalo gets the next possession. Philadelphia capable of going on these runs that can just dominate your game. Here's Hammer Hamley. Moving pick will be the call. They'll give it up. Hamley goes back down to play defense. Here comes Paul O'Grady. He is back in the game, sore face and all. 1-goal lead for Philadelphia, the defending North American Cup champs. These two teams played right here last year. Shot from out front, picked up. Cordingley looking for the fast break. They slow things down. There's Kilgore.
We got one.
First goal since 2:17 in the third for Philadelphia. So again, Buffalo owned the third, Philly owned the second. Batley, Redwood, takes a shot but can't find. He gets a fresh 30th save by Elliott. Ground balls are going to tell who wins this game. Elliott gets this one. Philadelphia with the lead and the ball. O'Grady. This game not marred by penalties. Gary Gates, the MVP of the league, going one-on-one right now with Rosen. Picked by Govett. Govett gets it back. Batley's playing defense on him. He is wrapped from behind. Cowie's got it. Look up front. Here comes Rosa, but Gate picks it off. Great defense by Gary Gate. That's why he is an MVP. He plays both ends of the field. Marichek gets it checked away by Squire.
Plenty of time.
Rogers to Marichek. Marichek in close. He's tough to defend, but the big check by Ciccone.
Shut up! He's standing right there. What do you mean? You make every other call, Roy.
Ball back in play. The great Gary Gate going against Rosa. He's double teamed by Batley, and the check from behind will be a hold call.
Show ball. 15 hold. 5-4.
Rosa gets caught for the hold, trying to play defense on Gary Gate. Quinn Kesnick on the Phillies sideline.
Chris Flynn, from here, how much of a factor is conditioning? It's a lot of a factor. We're in a dogfight right now. It just comes down to whoever's got the bigger one. We just got to come out and play real hard, get the ground balls. Whoever does that's going to come away with a W tonight. Key power play right now, Lee, for Philadelphia.
And they haven't scored a one yet, Quinn. This is their fourth one. They have drawn a goose egg. At one point, they were up by 2 players and couldn't beat the defense for Buffalo. Let's see if Buffalo tries to eat up the full 30 seconds. Don't forget, Buffalo has scored man short against Philly more than a couple times. 4 times in the last 3 meetings between these two teams. So Philly has to watch. They don't leave Buffalo an opening. They try to get it to Tavares. They missed it. Here comes Miller. Miller off to the run, and they're going to find themselves with a good man advantage because Tavares is slow getting back. Back to Miller. Tries to get Rowe. Can't beat Cowie. Ball loose. Can Beltman get it? Back to Cowie. They do a great job of getting it back to their goalie. 9 minutes left in the game. 1 minute left the penalty to Rosa. So Buffalo again killing the penalty into Cochran. They squeeze the pass into him, and Elliott is very alert. Don't think that they are thinking that Buffalo won't take a shot, because they have and they will. 12 seconds on the shot clock. It's still counting down. 46 on the penalty. 8 and change the game. Shot from out front. They missed it. Finneran picks it up. Stu Aird's got to get back in position. Finneran, great speed. Got a trailing player to his right, Nostrand. Back to Gary Gate. Tough matchup against Cochran. Denikin down to Finneran. Finneran sees Gate up top, and Cochran cuts it off. 22 on the shot clock. It might be their last chance to get a power play goal, and they are due for one. Denikin in front off of Cowie's face mask, but they get it back. First shot clock. Marichek to Gate. Watch out. Can't find it. Nostrand up to Gary Gate. rocket.
Go. I got it. Timeout. Timeout.
Gary Gait gets his 5th goal of the game, and Philadelphia is up by 2. At the odd to give Philadelphia a 14-12 lead. This is it, a rocket from the outside. He's got rope, and a 2-goal lead for Philly with 7:35 left. Gary Gait, MVP 1995, when Philadelphia beat Buffalo earlier this year. Gary had 5 goals. When Buffalo beat Philly earlier this year, John Tavares had 5 goals. So if you believe in numbers, you believe Philly's got a good chance to win it. Power play again for Philadelphia. They're going to wear down Ross Cowie. Stu Aird's in the goal. In the penalty box, rather. Stu Aird's one of their best defensive players. The first shot by Gary Gait goes wide. 12 seconds left on the shot clock. 10 winding down. Finneran goes behind the goal. They don't have much time left. It's close. Marechek doesn't have an angle. The right-hander shooting from the wrong side. He's on the left-hander side, but he gets a fresh 30. Nostrid. Looking for the cutter. It's Marechek around the back, easy in the corner. What great accuracy. Now a 3-goal lead, and the pressure is on Buffalo. They've got to make their move now as this team from Philly, the great defending champions. Watch this. Marechek takes it, wraps it around the shoulder, and finds the corner. Right in the corner. Watch this. Will be a great angle to see it. Right in the corner, over the shoulder of Ross Cowie. It's do-or-die time for Buffalo, and here they come with Darius Kilgore getting down low. Can't find Cordingley. He couldn't pick it up. Flynn dragging him from behind. Finally, he gets it. Cordingley up front, gets a check from behind by Flynn. Shot clock down to 15. Hamley takes it up front. Laub working the pick on one side. Into Laub. He couldn't control. Marechek has been a key to the game, and Quinn Kesselnick's got him now.
Tommy Marechek, nicknamed Hollywood, behind the back goal. Crucial shot.
Thanks a lot, yeah. Well, Finneran finally gave me one right in the stick at the right time, so I knew that Cowie was planning to play over his glove side, and his stick side was really weak, so I was going there.
Tommy Marechek, professional shooter, behind the back goal.
Thanks.
And Quinn, just moments ago, before that goal, Marechek took a right-handed shot, didn't have any angle. That one could seal it. Johnny Nostrand makes it a 16-12. Here's that run that Buffalo feared. Nostrand makes it a 4-goal lead with 6 minutes left. Les Bartley knows that it's running out. The sands of time. Not much left for this boy.
Here we go.
Johnny Nostrand comes from the left side. He usually shoots outside. He just jukes inside of Hamley. Nobody picks him up, and he finds rope. Cowie shakes his head. Philly loves it. Meanwhile, Tavares answers the call. A 4-goal run for Philly, answered by Johnny Tavares. They get him in front, and he beats Elliott on the far side, making it look easy off the faceoff. Here's another one that's crucial, a 3-goal lead now, picked up by Stewie Aird. Stewie Aird drops it in to Beltman. Beltman's got a little bit of move. He comes inside of Martin. He finds nothing but a stiff defense by Dallas Elliott. Great chance on the fast break for Beltman. He could not get it inside with enough room to get past the defense of Philly. 3-goal lead for Philly, 5 minutes left. He's got rope! Cordingley gets a hat trick. Watch him drive right inside, get the ball from the far side, and just shove it past Dallas Elliott. Cordingley stepping up. The Buffalo bench is stepping up. Philly calls a timeout. Buffalo's back within 2.
Got to get in the lines. All right? We're going to go face-off line to ones. Okay? We got to come quicker. Now, we got to use the 30 each time, right? We've got 2 or 3 shifts each. 5 minutes. We're out of here. Okay? Every ground ball's huge. Let's go. On face-off, block the front line. Don't let the Here we go, guys. Here we go.
The odd in Buffalo, rocking and rolling. The Bandits have scored 2 straight. Tavares, Cordingley, 2 of their big 3 after Philadelphia had scored 4. Now it's a 2-goal game with 5 minutes left, and Tony Retsch said, use the clock. The clock can save us the win. Use it up. Gabrielson takes his time.
Hey, I know, but how about the slash here? All right, we're Ravens.
To Billy Miller, the great from Hobart. Miller says, change the legs. Rogers comes on. Gary Gait comes on. Govett. Gary Gait and Govett will work the left-hand side. Watch Govett come in to pick. Stewie Aird can't get the check, and they slide him off to Tavares. Nobody's playing him right now. Gary Gait. He comes all the way around. Mayer checks. Shot clock expires before they got it off. Buffalo's ball. But they burned up 30 seconds, and that's what Resch wanted. Now it'll be Veltman and Tavares and Hamley, the big guns for Buffalo. Inside. Oh, Kilgore couldn't beat Elliott. Here comes Hammer Hamley. He gets checked from behind. Great check by Brian Volker. Gary Gait can ice it to Govett. Will Govett take it? He's got rope, and that might do it. 3-goal lead. Right in Cowie's face.
Stay out of there!
Rich Kilgore has killed his team twice with a penalty at the wrong time. It looks like he might get another one.
Can't be happy to score that.
Tempers flaring. Kilgore getting a fight on the far side.
Face now.
This goal may be all they need to ice the win. The defending champs, Govett, takes the goal, beats Cowie. They pick up action with 4 minutes left. Penalty shot. Gary Gait, MVP against Gary Rope.
Face off.
And Gary Gait ices the win.
Face off.
A 4-goal lead for Philadelphia. The penalty boxes are full of people.
3-on-3.
And the lead is well in the favor of Philadelphia. 2 straight goals, one by Govett, one by Gait. This one ices it. The MVP, not much you can do to stop this great guy. 1 fake, 2 fakes, 3 fakes, boom! Into the corner, easy shot by Gary Gait. Stu Aird gets the face-off for Buffalo, not giving up, tries to get one past Elliott, who's been sensational. Under 4 minutes left. 4-goal lead for Philly. It's been the Achilles heel for Buffalo. They haven't had the goaltending all year, and they didn't get it tonight. That's been the difference in the game. Veltman shoots. His team's not giving up. Veltman comes in with little or no angle, and that big wingspan. Watch as Gabrielson rocks him out. Miller can't find him. The big wingspan finds a little bit of far side action, and they get the ensuing face-off. They've got possession. 3 goals separate the teams, but we've got time left. It's 4-on-4. Veltman and Tavares working to give and go. Shot clock at 18. Volker gets picked off. Veltman inside. Down to 14. Tavares now can go by himself. Tavares working in, takes a shot. A fresh shot clock. Tavares tries to get the ball. He's pulled down by Volker.
Still loose.
Tavares is exhausted.
Withholding the ball. We go out.
Tavares totally exhausted. And here comes the paper debris.
Go to the goal.
We've got a couple of penalties getting ready to expire, which will give teams a 4 on 4. Right now they're 3 on 3. You might notice a lot of green out there. Paul Denikin just using the clock. Tony Resch has a 3-goal lead. Gary Gait. Oh, he can't beat Geary. Great save. Geary looks for the fast break. He comes up to Cochran. Cochran's got Stuart to his left. He's got a trailing player in Hall. Doesn't look up. Cochran can't look up to see anybody. Completely circles the field, and Tavares comes back on. Cochran by himself. Takes a shot with Rogers playing defense. Rogers just locks him out and gets the ball back. 2 minutes left. 2 more players on the field, Flynn and Rich Kilgore. Now it's a 5 on 4 in favor of Philly. That's the way it'll be for the rest of the game. Check to Gait. They'll just use most of the clock. They've got 6 seconds left. Gait fires. Now outside, he's way wide. Now it goes to Tavares. Tavares picks it up. Gives it to Beltman as he comes in from the bench. Beltman will try to go right to the hoop. Tries to slam dunk past Elliott. Can't do it. Goalie is out of the box. Now Geary runs back in. 1:30 left. It'll stay 5 on 4 in favor of Philly the rest of the game. Flynn will just run them out.
10, right there.
10-second violation. When the teams are not of even strength, you've got 10 seconds to get it past midfield. So the ball goes back to Buffalo. They're down by 3. It's still possible. Over and back. You can't go back court, no matter whether you're the short team or the team that's up. Open net, goal by Finneran. 4-goal lead. 19-15, a huge amount of goals. And again, it's been goalkeeping that's killed. Of course, that one, there was no goalkeeper. But Finneran put this one out of reach. Finneran looks down, he sees no goalie, and just lobs it in. For goal number 19, Geary running in from the sideline, couldn't get there in time. Finneran gets his 3rd goal of the night. Less than a minute to go in the game, and I'll tell you what, Buffalo should be proud of their effort. These 2 teams, I'm sure, will give each other a lot of respect coming out of this one. The goalies just couldn't come up big enough for Buffalo tonight, but everybody else really gave it an all-pro effort. 37 seconds left. We'll still play it 5 on 4 in favor of Philly the rest of the way. Denikin tries to get the last goal and a big arm save by Geary. Time winding down. Cordingley with a hat trick, brings it down. Lob in front of him. Cordingley able to get a shot off. Nice wheeling move. Tries to pull it back and gets nailed by Paul Denikin. Follow up by Aird. That one counts. What a sensational game. A 3-goal lead. There's been no quit in either team. There have been runs by both teams. And Philadelphia showing that they are the cream of the crop coming into Buffalo. Accordingly, he'll get rocked by Denikin right here. Boom! Off his wheels, and then Aird picks up the loose ball and gets the goal. Time winding down. A 3-goal win for the defending North American Cup champs. But what an effort from Buffalo, and I'm sure the fans will let them know. Philadelphia will move on to the championship match between the winner against the winner of Rochester and Boston. And Elliott is the man of the hour. It's the big game for Elliott, all-pro goalie. He kept him in it. He was the difference in the game. They will make their 6th championship appearance in the last 9 years. For Christy Lee and Quint Kesnick, I'm Lee Felsbo. Join us tomorrow for our game, Rochester against the Boston Blazers, tomorrow 7:30 p.m. And then again on the 8th, we'll have ESPN's coverage live of the final game. For Quint Kesnick and Christy Lee, I'm Lee Felsbo. The final score.